Biden does not run our country. The president doesn't run our country. Now, I'm going to be honest and transparent with you guys about this message. This may turn some of you off, and I am doing this at the risk of losing some followers. But I want to share with you guys a different perspective. So the intro is going to be a little bit longer, and then I'm going to break down some facts, figures, numbers, logic. I will never, ever, ever change my message or narrative based on anybody else's narrative. I follow principles. So within my business, it's integrity, honesty, and uncompromising belief in God. For me, we have many different people within our academy: Jehovah Witness, Church of Latter-day Saints. We have Catholic. My CFO is a Buddhist. I follow the life of Jesus. Okay. In my family, it's freedom, peace, and family structure. If anything goes outside of those principal models, the decision is a hard no. So as I go into this, I want to give you a totally different perspective. I am not left. I am not right. I wake up and pray to God every single morning, and I pray to God when I go to bed. I have a relationship with myself and God and my principles. I pull the log out of my eye before I pull the straw out of yours. And the issue with this social media thing going on is we're attached to these influencers who are changing their narrative over and over and over again. It's because they don't know thyself. They're trying to get you to believe in something that they don't believe themselves. Truth comes from here. Truth comes from knowing who you truly are. So I'm going to give you a totally different perspective as we go into this. Everybody's saying they're going to go against this, or crypto's against this, or this is nothing new under the sun, family. What I'm about to show you is who actually runs the actual ecosystem. But if we go back to biblical days with Jesus, Jesus was going from village to village providing hope. We had Caesar, we had the Pharisees. It was the same system. People are in line paying the tax collector. And there's a powerful, powerful thing that I really love about the Jesus story. A gentleman walks up to me and says, "Who do we pay our taxes to?" And Jesus says, "Who's on the coin?" He says, "Caesar." He says, "Pay your taxes to Caesar and give to God what is his." So what does that mean? The system will always be the same. Politics and greed will always be here. Sovereignty is here, and sovereignty is here. Every single one of you has the ability to be powerful, strong, worthy, abundant by what? By accepting that you already are. So as I go through these facts, figures, numbers, logic of who actually runs the financial system, not your system, not your ecosystem, we all allowed this to happen. We are all sovereign individuals that can make a choice on a daily basis. But the left and right work together to get us to fight. And we pull the straw out of each other's eyes. As we're pulling the straw out of each other's eyes, they're methodically, slowly changing the financial system. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's what's been happening. And so everybody thinks they're going to get rich in crypto and it's going to change their life and it's going to be their retirement. What if it doesn't go to 589 XRP? What if XRP doesn't go to $10? What if Bitcoin doesn't go to $100,000? What's more important is who you become in the process. So I'm going to give you a totally different view as we break this down. So as we break this down, I'm going to show you one of the most powerful companies in the world. Now, here's the thing. This stuff is just information. Money is a quantum field that's an energy frequency, okay? These are decisions that Larry Fink made after losing a ton of money, going into Blackstone, and then breaking off and creating BlackRock, and being very strategic in the way that he packaged investments, became one of the most powerful asset managers in the world. JP Morgan and BlackRock run our country. Let me repeat that. JP Morgan and BlackRock run our country. The president is just a talking head, and the financial system is what moves everything. Climate change, socio-geopolitical, war narratives. Think about that for just a moment. It's a very unfortunate thing, but as Jesus was going from village to village providing hope, he said, stop focusing on that stuff. Do you want to be healed? You're powerful, you're strong, you're worthy, you're abundant. They want us looking outside of ourselves, but let's show the facts of what's actually happening. So instead of getting caught up in these narratives that, oh, this is happening, or the SEC is doing this and they're doing this, or this is nothing new under the sun, guys. It will always be that way. If there's political and there's power, there will always be money and power, and there'll always be corruption. Some of you, when you get 10 million, $20 million, may get corrupt. I've been there before. I'm speaking from experience. I didn't have the foundation or the principles that I have now, and I completely unraveled 17 years ago. I was not a good person. But once I developed principles, morals, and ethics, I don't worry about what all these people do. I worry about taking care of my family, my warriors, my principles, my ethics, my morals. So, yes, you can get very, very wealthy during this time. But what's more important is who you become in the process. So let's dive right into this. So BlackRock. So I'm going to take you guys all the way back to this one's from 2008, I believe. Yeah, October 6, 2008. So we need to understand who BlackRock is. And I want to share with you guys, BlackRock has about 10, coming up on 10 trillion under management. Let's digest that for a second. China and America have about 26 trillion under. We're going to take a look at this. They literally have almost as much or half as much as China GDP. The only two, sorry, let me rephrase that. The only two countries that they are less than is China and America. Every other country, they control more of the gross domestic product, or they have more money than the gross domestic product countries. What they do matters. The narratives you're seeing with Target and Kohl's and Disney, they're all based on the largest companies moving a narrative. Okay. We're going to forget about all this stuff in 12 months. I promise you. You're going to be focused on another narrative. It's a design thing to get you, boom, look this way, look this way. You're going to wake up in a brand new financial system. So this was back in 2008. The large U.S. asset manager with strong fixed income records, such as BlackRock, a trust company of the West, is seen favored to oversee the U.S. government $700 billion financial rescue fund. So basically what happened is BlackRock was tapped in 2008 to help the Federal Reserve balance out the financial system. There's a problem with that, okay? BlackRock is balancing out the markets and helping bail out companies, or helping them with a strategy to bail out companies that they are majority owners in. Think about that for just a moment. Now, BlackRock is not fully the owner. BlackRock takes people's money and invest their assets. Okay. They're an asset manager. So it's not truly BlackRock owns it, but the assets of the people that they manage own it. But BlackRock has a lot of control. And I'm going to show you actual videos of Larry Fink, how powerful he is, and saying, hey, we will change behaviors. So in 2008, BlackRock is the person that was tapped, or Larry Fink and BlackRock was tapped to control the markets. So this was in 2021. The world's largest asset manager firm was front and center of the Fed's Wall Street bailout. The close collaboration between the U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve, the multi-billion-dollar asset manager, trillion-dollar asset manager, BlackRock, is divesting. I should say divesting, right? The March, did I get a word right and they didn't? Or maybe I'm seeing that wrong. March 2020 rescue operation for Wall Street has been revealed in the article published by New York Times. According to the article, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's biggest asset manager firm, was in frequent touch with the U.S. Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell in the days before and many days after the Fed's emergency program was announced. Okay. They're the largest asset manager in the world. They control the financial system. McDonald's, Disney, Kohl's, Target, media stations. Them and Vanguard are the dominant force. So our Federal Reserve, who's supposed to be balancing out the job markets, controlling interest rates or money supply, is working with BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, that owns most of these companies. Isn't that a conflict of interest? But it's always been this way, guys. It's always been this way. Money and politics go hand in hand. That won't change unless we get greed out of human beings. So stop fighting an invisible enemy. This will cycle over and over and over again. That's why I brought up the biblical days, okay? Jesus said, give to Caesar what is his and give to God's what is his, okay? And I'm not saying you have to bow down. That's not what I'm saying. But listen, you're fighting an invisible enemy. You're fighting something that you truly can't fix in regards to the physical world, but you can fix internally and fix your world. Let me say that again. You're trying to fight against something you can't fix in the physical world, but you can fix yourself internally and change your world. Let that sink in. Okay. So when Federal Reserve, this is 2021 or 2020, May 21st, when the Federal Reserve needed Wall Street's help with its pandemic rescue mission, it went straight to Larry Fink, BlackRock, co-founder, chairman of the chief executive. He becomes the industry's most important government whisperer. So this guy, nobody even knew who he was until recently when all of us kind of started to reveal this type of stuff. Larry Fink was just cruising behind the scenes, right, doing his thing. He's on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum. The board of trustees' job is to move the mission forward of the World Economic Forum. Okay, so we're going to go back 5 years to 2017, and we're going to watch a critical video with Larry Fink and the CEO. Okay, this is the CEO of American Express here, and Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Let's listen to what he says about, so what they're talking about. Let me give you context to this. Go watch the video so you can get your own opinion. What they're talking about is inclusion, right? Inclusion. That's basically what the conversation is about. You can dive into whatever thing, the target stuff, all this stuff happening, inclusion, right? Human capital. And so here's what Larry Fink talks about. And then this was 5 years ago. And then look what happened with Target, Kohl's, Disney, all this stuff. Listen to what he says.
So both of you guys you guys are friends, and I know you guys agree on most things,
Oh,
but there is something.
My apologies. The first thing we're going to talk about, which is important, this is going to be talking about digital assets. Sorry. Then we're going to watch the video around the inclusion. So you guys, everybody says, oh, crypto's going to zero, guys. It's not. It's all political. It's all political. They're just moving us into regulation. Digital currencies are going to be here. Blockchain is going to be here. You need to stay calm through these very volatile times. That's the point I want to get this.
Something you disagree on.
Yes.
Bitcoin.
Oh.
I want. Well, you tell me. You tell us the things you disagree on.
Let's be clear. I don't spend any time thinking about Bitcoin. I was asked a question about Bitcoin and I responded, but I don't have a strong opinion on Bitcoin.
I heard you say you thought it was a.
I said it was I believe it is an index for money laundering.
Okay.
So my view.
Ken's in the payment business.
But I could look at it.
Okay, listen, this is key. Just what did Jamie Dimon said? Bitcoin's a fraud, but blockchain's here to stay. Listen to what the other most powerful banker in the world is about to say.
Let me just finish. I do believe there's a great need for distributive ledgers, and I do believe there's a great need for private blockchains and all that. So
there you go. There's your answer. Stay calm. Larry Fink, the largest JP Morgan. Okay, remember, JP Morgan has 1 trillion of BlackRock's under management of its 10 trillion, 9 going on 10 trillion under management. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, and Larry Fink are running the country. They're running the financial system, family. Okay, that's the CEO of American Express right there, sitting next to Larry Fink. American Express, Warren Buffett's one of their biggest holders there. Okay, Warren Buffett increased his position in Bank of America in 2020 and moved out of most bank stocks in 2020. We're set up very, very nicely. Larry Fink is saying the exact same thing as Jamie Dimon when he was under congressional hearing. Okay, so the next one. So this is the thing. They're telling you this is 5 years ago. Same thing. That was 5 years ago. But this is about human capital and inclusion. Oh, give me 1 second. Here we go.
I think is a real problem and is embarrassing for corporate America, because we should have far more representation of all different groups, genders that are at the top. And that's something that companies need to be very focused on.
We're going to open it up a bunch of questions, but you now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year, and what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same thing.
And so it's just you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said.
Okay, so that's 5 years ago. Okay, let's dive into this. My screen got all jacked up here, so let's go. There we go. Boom. There we go. Oh, let me bring this down here. Cool. All right, so let's move this here. Sorry, my screen got jacked up. Okay, so remember that was 5 years ago. He talked about Bitcoin. He gave his opinion on Bitcoin, and then he moved over to saying blockchain technology is here to stay. We talked about financial inclusion, the narrative going on. We have to force behaviors. And then this is in 2023. So listen to what he says about ESG. Now, ESG is it's not just environmental social governance. It is also human capital, a thing that we're experiencing with Target, all that type of stuff. Like you said, you have to force behaviors.
How much has the political backlash, thank you, to ESG investing had on you and BlackRock?
Other than being,
great-
other than being dehydrated, actually, if you just reflect on BlackRock's flows last year, the backlash, it's public. We lost about $4 billion of flows from various states. But in long-term flows last year, we were awarded $400 billion.
Okay, so they got the backlash from ESG. Okay, 2020, there was a shock to the system. We all got shut down. We all started using our computers, Zoom calls, everything. The customer behaviors got forced to change. That had to do with the financial system. Now they're forcing this other change in narrative, right? I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but we're seeing the Target, the Disney. I'm just saying this is something that's happening. We're physically seeing this. We're experiencing what he's saying. They lost money, but they brought in $400 billion. The reason why is if you don't do these things, you're not going to get your funding. That's very important to understand. Okay, so this is important to dive into. So BlackRock has nearly 10 trillion in assets under management. That's more than the GDP of every country in the world except the United States and China. That BlackRock is a top shareholder across a wide range of global industries that include oil, gas, technology, retail, big banks, healthcare, weapons manufacturing, and more. All this makes BlackRock one of the most powerful corporate actors on the planet, who influences and touches every aspect of our daily lives. That is a key factor. They touch an aspect of every single bit of our daily lives. Let me repeat that one more. They impact a aspect. Sorry, I was trying to get my computer's jacked. Let's get off there. Okay, so what's the point of this? Why am I sharing this? Is we see a lot of battling back and forth on social. We have influencers changing their narrative all the time. Like first we're fighting for sovereignty and crypto, and then we're going back to meme coins. And we're like, guys, that is not how the wealthy operate, okay? Number one, wealth is here and wealth is here. The book Think and Grow Rich gives you all the secrets, okay? There's 13 principles that define what wealth is. And the secret of it, it's frequency, it's energy. If they can get you to fight and they can get you to focus on things, your differences, they have control of you, okay? Once you realize that it's about getting your own shit together and you start to become powerful and you understand you're already wealthy, you're already healthy, you're already abundant, as Jesus walks up to the guy laying on the mat waiting for the fountain, right? He thinks that the paralyzed guy, if I get to this fountain, oh, this thing outside of me, he says, do you want to be healed? He says, yes. Get up, get your mat and walk. So get your mat and walk. Create a budget. Cut out your frivolous spending. Stop doing all these material things like drinking energy drinks and, going to Starbucks and all this material stuff. Save some money, $300 a month. Invest it in some of these speculative assets. They say Bitcoin is fraud, but they also say blockchain technology is here to stay. Jamie Dimon gave you the secret. Larry Fink gave you the secret. So what have we done? Okay. So what we've done is we have a very diverse crypto portfolio. We have some crap coins, and we also have a very diverse portfolio in real world solved cryptocurrencies, like Jamie Dimon says, like Larry Fink says, that are blockchain technologies that are going to change the financial system, that are already operating within the financial system. This has been built for a very long time. Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, DLT has been in the system for a long time. It's nothing new. What we're seeing is the regulation of it. Number 2 is we have exit strategies. When it goes parabolic next year, we are going to be exiting the markets I'm going to be exiting 50% of my portfolio. I'm going to be securing it in things like insurance, whole life cash policies, IUL, which people call it infinity banking. I'm actually licensed as an insurance agent now. I'm building my own insurance company. I've been obsessed with it for 2 years. I'm taking that on inside my academy. Okay. We also are getting into real estate. I'm not a real estate expert. We have real estate experts in our academy. Okay. I'm getting into real estate for tax liabilities due to my increase in income over the past couple of years. Okay. We have businesses. We are diversified. We're coming up on equity in 9 companies. We're diversified across information, attention, and data. That is the new gas and oil. And we're also into precious metals. And our number 1 investment is self-development. We work harder on ourselves than we do anything else. We don't cast judgment on other people. I don't care about the haters. I don't care about the naysayers. I am not spending my time worried about those people that I have never met before. The haters on social, I've never met you before. I have no qualms against you. I don't know you. You don't raise my family. That's why I say I love you. I unconditionally love all of you guys because I'm jacked up myself. I have plenty to work on myself to take any time to point the finger at other people. So from my family's heart to yours, I unconditionally love you guys. I appreciate you so, so much. I appreciate all you guys sharing these videos. There's been so many people sharing these videos. I thank you. But again, anybody watching this, good, bad, indifferent, I'm not against anybody. You shouldn't be out protesting against things. You should be working on yourself and being the change you want to see in the world. I think Gandhi said that. If you want to be wealthy, then feel wealthy. If you want to be healthy, then connect with your body. Okay. If you want to be unconditionally loved, then love people unconditionally. You can do this. But the fact is, rich parents have rich kids, poor parents have poor kids. Somebody has to draw the line in the sand, and you have to rewire the foundation. So that's what we do inside of our Warrior Academy. 7 days for free in 2023 down below in the description. You can also come to our free event July 15th, where I'll be doing a speech live. You get to meet me, some of my team members, and we're going to be doing a hors d'oeuvres at the 3T Warrior Academy. It's going to be remarkable. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys. Biden's not my president. God is.